Hello, all. Welcome back to What's On Tonight, a podcast with elaborate, quirky, and unpredictable conversations about TV, movies, and more. I'm Becky.
And I'm Mandy.
Tonight, we have with us a very special guest. We have Taj Speights, who played Jake on the Pitt.
Woo!
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
We are super excited to have you.
Yeah, you
And
were
we
a
got
fan favorite.
a lot to talk about with you. So we're going to dive right in
Cool.
with the questions here. And the first one is, this is one we like to ask all of our guests. How did you end up getting cast on the show? And then a follow-up question is, what made you decide that this was the line of work that you wanted to go into?
Those are two great questions. Well, okay, so how I came to this role was actually very interesting. I got the audition first, and when I read it, I was kind of confused because there was not a whole lot of information in the script and everything like that. And they said that it was going to be like a cutting edge, state of the art. It was going to be shot very uniquely and stuff like that. So when I first read the breakdown, I didn't really know what it was, and I was like wondering if it was going to be, something with virtual reality. Like I had no idea at
Oh,
first.
wow.
Yeah, I was very confused because it was so vague. And they also had this mission thing on one of the first pages that was saying like, no divas on set. You can't have any attitude, which is something I really appreciate, and you don't see a lot on in an audition. So that was cool. But also the description for the character was, at the time I was supposed to be playing like 15 or 16. So that right there, I was like, okay, that's gonna be a stretch. Like I've played younger than I am my entire life, but 15 or 16, I was like, oh, I don't know about this. So for the audition, I did what I could to like try to come off as like super young and stuff like that. But I didn't really think anything of this audition, like of getting a callback for this or anything. This was not a self-tape that I sent in and I felt like, oh yeah, I got this one. So when I got the callback, I was ecstatic. The lines for the callback was a version of the scene that happens with me and Robbie, the big emotional blow up. It was a version of it,
Wow.
but it wasn't what happened in the show. It was like a version that they had written.
Okay.
Some kind of dramatic moment that gives the same kind of tension. Gotcha.
Yeah. And I went in to do the well, it was at home, but I did a Zoom for the callback, and it was supposed to be with Noah and the director and a few of the producers. And Noah was not there. And I was like totally preparing to do the scene with Noah and everything like that. So when he was,
Oh no.
but I felt really good about the callback. And then quickly after that, I got the call that I booked it. It was like for how meaty the role was, it was a pretty quick process, which was really cool and rare.
So this is like one of your first reprise roles, right?
Yeah, I've done a lot of like guest star roles and stuff in independent films and stuff like that. But as far as recurring or series regular, this is my first.
Recurring was the word I was not
Yeah.
coming in my head. So does that like materially change your life as a working actor? Was it immediately some sort of a difference, or is it still kind of a hurry up and wait game when you're not recording?
Still very much hurry up and wait.
Mm,
The current climate of acting is so strange right now. Like we're still like kind of living in this post-pandemic world. And like, we're not actors, we're not going in for auditions. We're still at home doing self-tapes and sending those in, which is something I'm not a big fan of.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because it's kind of erased the personal relationships that you create with casting directors and producers when you go in.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's very much hurry up and wait, and more so wait than hurry up at this
Yeah.
point.
So, but how did you decide that you wanted to go? Were your parents in show business?
They weren't. No, my parents were like dancers when they were younger, but my parents put me and my sister. I have a sister who's 2 years younger than me, and she's also an actress in the business.
I saw
Um,
that. Yeah.
yeah, but my parents had me and my sister do everything growing up. Like they had us try. I tried guitar, piano. I played every sport in Little League when I was a kid, and acting and dancing were the two things that really kind of stuck.
Hmm.
the two things I actually liked. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much the story. Like when I was 18 months, I did an ad for Honda. So I've been pretty much acting since parenting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since the beginning.
Well, that's pretty. I mean, so do you have? Well, never mind. We'll get to that later. I'm not. I'm jumping ahead. So your character went through a lot in this
Oh yeah.
season. So how much information were you given at the start on where Jake was going to end up at the end of the season? I know you just said that the scene that you auditioned with was like that, but did you know early on kind of where they were going with it?
I knew that my girlfriend would die in Robbie's hands essentially.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's pretty much all I knew. I knew that we were gonna get from point A to that distant point B. And I knew that it was gonna be like very drastically different the way that my character comes in episode 5 and then in that crazy episode. Yeah.
So how funny because there was one of the standout scenes of the entire season that we had a lot of chatter about on our Facebook page was that scene between you and Princess and when everybody's trying to give you the condoms. So how funny was that scene? And Becky wants me to particularly put in here that the scene was with you and Princess, and she kept talking about sexy time
Yeah.
at the concert. So how did you keep a straight face?
I felt her in that moment. I
Oh
was
my
like
God.
reliving some of the best moments of my life during that scene. And I was like,
Yes.
how did he not lose his mind laughing
Oh,
when she was going through that?
we were cracking up every time they say cut. She's hilarious. Everybody on the set is really cool. We all became like a family. And that scene, that whole little thing with all the different condoms, it was really funny. And yeah, shooting that was hilarious. And the lines were great, and she delivered them perfectly.
She's very
Mm-hmm.
funny.
Yeah,
Didn't work because you're only like compared to Becky and I, we're both getting close. I am 50 actually. Becky is barking at 50 right behind me.
you guys look great.
Oh, you're sweet. Thank you.
You're very much like I'm definitely, if we have time at the end, going to try to pitch my beautiful daughter at you. I already warned her.
She's not joking. She told me this ahead of time.
Okay, awesome.
But you're like, there was so many times, and we'll get further into this with other questions. I don't want to get too far ahead, but like there were so many times that I saw, and I know Becky saw our kids in you and that character and the ups and downs and the horrible parts and the funny parts.
Yeah.
And it just reminded me, my daughter is 22, and it just that couldn't have been like, have you had moments like that in your life that people have been offering awkward advice or trying to do? Because it just made me think of like the weird conversations that my daughter and I have had to have. And my son now is 18 as they get older.
Yeah, me and my parents, we kind of brushed past the birds and the bees conversation. I feel like by the time we had the conversation, it was a bit too late, anyways.
Gotcha.
No.
Yeah, I think we were the opposite. Like, I think I was given, especially with my son, he's very introverted. I
Yeah.
think I was more princess, like way
Yeah,
giving
yeah,
him
yeah.
more than he really needed, and constantly like making him feel awkward about having conversations about stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
I feel like for me, it's like an out of body experience I have when those conversations are happening. Where I'm
you
just
just
like,
want to be out of your body. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my son. Yeah.
On behalf of the parents who have to give those conversations, we feel the exact same way.
For sure.
Okay, good. That's good to hear.
It's as awkward. It's like, yeah, it's painful. I do want to say before we move on to the next question that you were talking about playing a 15, 16-year-old.
Yeah.
When doing the deep dive into your background to get some information, I was shocked that you were
So was I.
28. So
Yeah.
you are pulling off that
Oh, thank you.
younger age. And I hope that stays with you as you age, because it's hard.
Honestly, I don't know how you feel about it right now as an actor, and you want to have as much range as possible, and you do have a baby face, but I'm sure you've heard this a million times. We both looked younger most of our lives. You're
Mhm.
going to miss that one day.
Yeah,
I promise you. It may annoy you now, but there's going to be a day where you're going to be like, why did you didn't card me? Just because
Right.
I'm getting Social Security doesn't mean that I don't still look like I could possibly be 21. You don't know.
Yeah, I know it's gonna be hurt, but I'm very appreciative of it right now. I'm just gonna, I guess, go wherever it takes me. But I also want to play older too. Like I would like to
Right.
do both. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not mad that I'm playing younger still. I feel like there's there's rich stories in youth, and I'm so appreciative that I got to play this role, and I would do it again in a heartbeat.
Well, I honestly think too, like just because we did a deep dive on your Instagram, obviously, and any of your socials this week, and I just know that you were looking for validation from me. I think you have the range now to play anywhere from, early 30s to probably late teens. I think 15, 16 would be pushing it, but
Right.
I definitely think like maybe 4 or 5 years ago you still look pretty baby faced, but I
Yeah.
think now you've definitely got a bright future, and I think you're just going to be seeing more of those roles in a broader range.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're excited for them too.
Yes. Yep. 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 You did some great work.
Thank you so much.
All right, well, next question comes from one of our loyal listeners, Wakeboard Girl from Instagram, and she wants to know how cool was it getting to play the stepson of Noah, and what was it like filming with him? And then we have a follow-up question that kind of goes into a bit of how did you feel about the hostility that built with Jake towards
Mm,
Robbie at the end of the episode or the end of the
mm.
season?
Well, it was insane working with Noah Wiley. I was extremely excited to work with him because I'm an actor that, like, when I'm on set, I try to be quiet as much as possible so I can just observe and absorb as much information as I possibly can from all of the people that have been doing it, especially somebody like Noah who's been doing it that long and has got such a great body of work and everything like that. I was just really trying to not be a stalker, but I was really trying to just take in whatever I could from him. And he's very giving, he's very nice, he's a great leader. He led by example, and I was just trying to pay attention to the way that he kind of, led on the set. I remember when the first episode I did in episode 5, me and him were like two ships passing in the night because we didn't have any scenes together, but we were working on the set on the same days. And I really like wanted to meet him, but I never could. Like right when I was about to do my scene, he was leaving. And that happened like the entire time. So when I finally got to meet him, I was so excited and he was really cool. And then yeah, shooting that scene, oh my God, that was like a masterclass boot camp getting to do that with him. You know, crying is something that I don't do a whole lot of in real life. That's not really how I necessarily show my emotions. So acting is the place where I feel like I can kind of feel that release. And for Noah, I don't know because I didn't ask this, but I felt like he might be kind of the same way. And just being able to go to bat with him, and just before we shot that scene, we were sitting in this room and he basically told everybody that while we're doing this, everybody needs to be quiet because we wanted to we want to get this done in as few takes as possible because it's so painful.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
the emotional scene. And I remember like when we were in the middle of shooting those scenes, like maybe take, I don't know, 6 or whatever, we were both sitting there crying and looking at each other, and we were like, let's get this done. Like it was very painful after a while, um,
Yeah.
just kind of sitting in those emotions.
Well, I don't want to break, but the very next question that we had
Yeah, yeah.
was that you obviously that was such a gut-wrenchingly emotional
Mm,
scene, especially that last scene. So how do you get yourself ready for those intense scenes? Because one of the things I was thinking as you were talking is if you guys didn't have a whole lot of time to prep ahead of time, I'm really interested to know how do
yeah,
you get yourself because it's almost like it played off of the intimacy between those two characters.
right.
Hmm.
Yeah, well, it was very a very unique situation because we were shooting during the same time of the fires in LA and the Palisades and everything like that. And I remember so I was highly anticipating shooting this scene when we were doing the entire episode. It was like the last pretty much scene that we shot for this episode, and I was like really just anxious to shoot this scene. Like I wanted to do it. If I could have done it the first day, I would have. But it was like the last day of shooting for the episode pretty much. And I remember when we came in, you could see the smoke coming over the mountains if you're looking outside of Warner Brothers,
Mm.
and the air was not great. And we went to our trailers, and I was just thinking like, I don't know if we're gonna be able to shoot today. And sure enough, when I was in hair and makeup, everybody got a text basically saying that we could go home, and that we'd have to reschedule shooting the scene. And this happened twice. We came in and were sent home, and then we had like about 3 or 4 days off, just waiting for the air quality to get a little bit better. So this scene kept on getting pushed off.
Oh,
Um, yeah, which was like that was even making me more anxious to shoot the scene. But yeah, so that like kind of added to the craziness of it. And then we knew that we were going to shoot the scene before we went on the break, like the little Christmas break that the studios all go on. And the director, Demi Marcano, he reached out to me and Noah and kind of gave us some notes on like what some things that he was thinking about for our preparation for this scene from the mindset of a dad and then from the mindset of a son. And
Hmm.
what we're feeling towards each other. So like that was really helpful that Damien gave us that. And then yeah, when we got there, we went in that room. Noah pretty much asked for us to have space and quiet, and we both kind of just, for me, I was kind of just staring at the floor, trying to put myself in this state of misery and just thinking about how horrible this would be. And I've lost people in real life, so it wasn't too difficult for me to go to a place like that.
Hmm.
But it's one of those things where like you shoot the first time and you're acting, and then the second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, it's no longer acting. It's just really pain, and
Wow.
it got more and more painful every scene too.
That's exhausting, man.
Yeah.
Like I think it was Robert Mitchum. There's one of those old Hollywood actors. He was one of those kind of like workman actors that he famously got really annoyed when people asked him questions about like, are you a method guy or whatever? And they asked him like, how do you put yourself in the shoes of, I don't remember what character. And he's like, what's easy? I pretend that I'm that person.
Right, right.
When I was a kid and I was in high school, I didn't do theater beyond high school or anything, but that's what I thought I wanted to do when I got older. I guess my question is like, when you get through just wringing yourself out like that, do you have to like go in a quiet room somewhere and just be alone for a little while, or do you just shake it off pretty easy?
No, I would say there was a little bit of a ripple effect for the next few days, because for me it's like I'm not consciously trying to conjure up these things, but like you start thinking
That's what
about,
you have to do.
yeah, you start thinking about people that you've lost, and you start thinking about just all different types of traumatic things that have happened. Like it all came up for me. So that night I was I was pretty somber and also wore out. Like my eyes were all puffy, my face was
Yeah,
swollen,
that will do it. Yeah.
crying over and over like that because I'm physically not used to that. And then yeah, for the next few days I was just trying to kind of get out of it.
Wow.
And that's why I brought up that quote is like, I don't really relate to that. Like, because my understanding of acting is, yeah, it's kind of funny because I do think it's crazy, these people that go to insane
Right.
extremes for method acting. But at the same time, you can't do it effectively if you can't find that inside yourself to be good at it, to be really
Yeah.
good at it. You can't really fake it. I mean, it has to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
How did you feel about his reaction, though, just like as a person? Because I got
Mm.
to tell you that we had a lot of talk about. We were pretty mad at you. We were
Yeah,
But
pretty
we
mad at
but
Jake, but we also
also
understood.
understanding of,
Yeah,
yeah,
at
yeah,
your
yeah,
at
yeah.
that age, at that mindset, you didn't just witness a mass casualty. You
Right.
witnessed and were involved in
Mm.
trying to save the love of your life.
Right.
So it just was so freaking brilliant
yeah,
how well written that was,
Mm.
and how the chemistry between you and Noah was great.
yeah.
It just, anyway, the point is, what to Mandy's question, we got people who were feedback and we were like, oh, I'm mad at him. And then it was also like, but put yourself in the mind of this young man
The
who
Yeah.
brain's
just
not even done cooking
witnessed,
at 17, 18 years
Yeah,
old.
right,
yeah,
exactly.
all this crazy just happened. And I felt like, in a way, I know I've done this even as, in my late 40s.
Yeah.
You lash out at the people who you love and are close
Mhm.
to, because they can they can take it, and that they will forgive you, so to speak. So
Right.
it made sense. And then we're also like, because I'm like Noah Wiley's biggest fan, so
Yeah.
I was like, don't you be like that. But yeah,
Yeah.
how did you, what did you think about it as Taj looking at this storyline?
Yes.
What were your thoughts?
I mean, you kind of covered. I was definitely, uh, you know, if I take myself out of it, I was also kind of frustrated with the reaction that he had. I mean, understanding of it and everything like that. But yeah, I also felt bad. But also, I feel like as the audience, we have the advantage of seeing everything that Robbie has gone through in the day, and Jake didn't know. Jake didn't know
Yeah.
That's
that,
true.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I also think that Jake has other frustrations with Robbie that go further than this one incident. This may have just been the straw that broke the camel's back, essentially. But like, he's trying to get a hold of him this entire day, and he can't. And it seems like that's probably a pattern. Obviously, because of how busy Robbie is saving the world, pretty much. But I feel like Jake just wants him to be his dad.
Yeah. I never
You-
thought of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And these are things that I had to kind of come up with in my head and think about because I have to in my head justify why I'm reacting this way too. And so I felt like it was way deeper than this one isolated incident. I feel like he just wants to be taken in. I feel like he almost wants Robbie to say, "Why don't you move in with me?" or whatever.
That was a strange dynamic that was kind of initially, as a viewer, we're watching and we're thinking that this is his biological or adopted
Right.
son that they lived, and then you find out later that they weren't married,
Yeah.
but that, like, to your point, I had been looking at it from the viewpoint of, wow, I mean, that's great that he tried to keep that relationship, but from Jake's point of view, he probably had a lot of abandonment.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they broke up and now his dad is gone.
Yeah, there's no talk of what happened to his father, so I don't think that's necessarily a good situation.
Right.
And I think if anything, the thing that hurt me the most as a viewer, as like watching it as a fan, was the last words that I say to him
Mhm.
in the season.
Yeah.
And that even like acting and doing that scene, oh, it was so hard that was the hardest thing for me to do, probably shooting the entire season is because I felt so bad saying it to him and Noah's reaction when I said it, that was
Oh, gut
it hurt so
wrenching.
Yeah.
bad. It hurt me so bad.
Yeah. But honestly, that's what 28-year-old Jake would probably say
Yeah,
too.
right. Right.
Hopefully that's the hope, like, is that this character is going to come back and that you guys are going to,
Reconcile at some point.
yeah, reconcile to, find out that maybe they've worked on some of that outside of the show, maybe even. I don't know. But as a mom, I really want to see that healed.
Yeah, me too.
Yes, a lot of our fans do, which brings us to our next question. Sarah Mahoney from the Pitt with Noah Wiley fan page and Linda Brower 50 from our Instagram page, along with Mandy, myself, and probably everyone else out there, want to
Yes.
know, can you tell us, will Jake be back for season 2?
I can say I'm not sure. That's what I can say.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure yet.
So you're saying there's a chance.
I'm honestly saying I hope there's a chance. I want to be back so bad. For all the things that we just said, I want to reconcile with him. I want to see where it goes. I reached out to Noah like as soon as we finished shooting. I was like, "Hey man, listen, if you can bring me back, I'm trying to come back."
Oh, great.
Well, Noah, I know you're listening, and
Right.
we need you because honestly, that kind of, man, like, I understand that part of the appeal of the show and the conceit of the entire premise of the thing
Yeah.
is that you don't see a lot of their outside life,
Right.
but he needed Jake, like, that really
Right.
humanized. You really see, like, the cost of what Robbie is sacrificing by trying to save the world.
Yeah.
Like, that, yeah, he might be saving as many people as he can that come in, but he's leaving human wreckage in his wake. I
Yeah.
loved hearing about your process. I really appreciate that. That absolutely answered my question about, like, how do you get to that place of without having a whole lot of time to bounce off of each other, that you were able to get to that is a real testament to your talent in making that character come alive.
You stood out. You really,
For sure.
really stood out and gave us a lot to talk about throughout from the second you walked in to that final scene that you were in. It just well done.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I've caught some heat in public
Oh, I'm
too.
sure.
Yeah, in public. Yeah, some of the fans have come up to me and be like, "Hey man, why'd you treat Dr. Robbie like that?"
Moms and grandmas, hey, I'm with Becky. You know what? Like, truly though, that's the brilliance of the show, is that's probably more likely to happen than to have that kind of a dynamic with a parental figure and then see the person you love get killed in front of you. I mean, it's much more likely a boy that age would react exactly
Yeah.
the way Jake did. So they gave us realness.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
it's one of my
sure.
favorite things about this show is it's the issues, the jokes, the all of it. It's like they pulled it straight from headlines, and that is a big testament to the show
Yeah.
that it just yeah, well done. So I have a
Thank you.
follow-up question, and this is from Brianna Kakuzo, who is a new listener on Facebook. She wants to know what your favorite part was about playing Jake. And in my head, it's that scene with Princess. And what is your best memory that you can share on set?
Okay, so I'll say my favorite thing about playing Jake was I liked playing I guess playing a character that led with his heart as opposed to, like he wasn't overly thinking anything. Even from the very beginning, he was just himself. He was very innocent, and I feel like every single reaction of Jake's was very innocent and pure of heart, even if it came off in a disrespectful way during some of those scenes. I felt like he was very pure of heart, and I felt like he loved very hard in the season. And then you said my favorite moment.
Yeah.
Okay, my favorite moment on set was the last day we were there. They brought in a mariachi band for lunch,
Oh,
and
cool.
it was like the coolest thing ever. We were all just like, actually, I stood up in front of them, like everybody was sitting down eating. I just stood up and watched the whole thing. But they did a lot of cool things like that, like catering and stuff. But yeah, the mariachi band was probably the highlight of my time there. And then just, talking to everybody. Everybody was so cool and welcoming and loving. It was a really great cast.
Do you stay in touch with anybody?
I do, yeah. I talk trash with some of the actors on Instagram and stuff like that. We send memes and stuff.
Well, when you talk to them again, let them know who we are and that we would
I will,
love a chance to talk to them and that we're
for
super
sure.
cool.
We've had
Yeah, for
Alex
sure.
Metz on, we've had Sasha, we've had Crystal on,
Myrna, we got
yeah,
Oh
Myrna.
yeah.
Sabrina.
Yeah,
Oh
you
yeah,
did?
Jeanette, yeah.
How was she? I
She's
didn't
a
get to
Um,
see
hoot.
it.
everything you would have. Oh, she was a
Yeah,
hoot.
Yeah, we're Facebook friends with her now, and it's awesome. I love being part of Jeanette's world.
that's so
She's a
cool.
very interesting old school Hollywood.
Yeah.
She came up. She's a casting director, I think, still, or works in casting, and that's kind of her background. And she had a lot of really interesting, fun stories. She was on Beverly Hillbillies like several
What?
times.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
it was very cool.
That was a lot of fun. So, listener Lisa McLeod from a fan page called The Pit was
Uh-huh.
curious about other roles you've had. So, we're doing some digging, and first of all, this isn't in here, but I want to mention that I love that you did Lady Dynamite with Maria Bamford. She is one of my all-time favorites. Did you
So
get to meet
funny.
her?
I did. Oh yeah.
She a sweetheart in
She is.
person.
She's so nice. Yeah, she's really nice, and she's hilarious.
I have like very openly talk a lot about how I struggle with depression and
Mhm.
anxiety. And she is such a role model for people who live with mental illness.
Yeah.
And Becky, you can cut this part out if you want, but just do yourself a favor and Google Maria Bamford talking about Star Wars or Star Trek Deep Space Nine sometime. It's
Okay.
one of the funniest things I've ever. She's a nut, but
I
anyway,
gotta see it. I gotta see it.
it's
I'm
very
like, I
funny.
want to go Google that too.
Oh my gosh, it is so
Yeah, right?
funny. So, anyway, we also saw that you were on Grey's Anatomy, and we wanted to know how did your time on the Pit compare to your time on Grey's Anatomy? And then follow up, I also noticed that you did an episode of Good American Family with Ellen Pompeo as well. So, was that a coincidence, or did she remember you? Was that helpful in any way?
Okay, so my time on Grey's Anatomy, I'll say was actually it was very different from my time on the Pit, just for a few different reasons. One, because it's on major network television, so the I don't want to say the pacing, but the style of acting and like delivering of your lines is kind of different. I would say both shows are they want to stick to the script, and for the Pit, it's because it's shot in a 15-hour shift, so you kind of have to say the words on the page because they'll matter and they could mess up the whole.
Right, you got to keep it tight. Yeah.
Exactly. but on Grey's Anatomy, it's the acting was very, very different. Also, I was still growing as an actor, and I was learning and playing in different things like that. It was fun. A story I have about Grey's Anatomy was I got to that there was a piece I wore on my back because my character had scoliosis, and it was a huge like 12-pound prosthetic that I had to wear on my back, and I had to go to a place called Reanimation to get fitted for this thing, and it was like where they make the Avengers suits and
Ooh.
Transformers and
Nice.
yeah, so I was like seeing these big like statues of like Transformers and they had like a King Kong thing in there and I had to like stand holding these two canes for I want to say like 20 minutes while they put this epoxy stuff on my back and the silicone and stuff like that and they had to like they had to fit it. So that was like my favorite thing about
That's
shooting that.
cool. That's a different day at work for sure.
Yeah, it was really cool. Oh, and then like it was summertime while we were shooting, so the entire time it was like sliding off my back, and they had to keep on they had to like keep on gluing it back to my back.
That's funny.
Stop sweating.
Yeah, I had to keep on running to the makeup trailer so they could like glue it back on my back. And then what else? What was the other question?
Well, it was just that all you also did Good American Family with
Yeah.
Ellen Pompeo. So did she know? Did you ever meet, or was that just sheer coincidence? Because like when we had Jeanette O'Connor on, I had noticed that she had done two different projects with Ice-T. I am a massive fan of both Ice-T
Yeah.
and Finn Tutuola from Law and Order SVU, and she
Yep.
was like, "Yeah, I didn't even remember I did that."
Oh yeah, no, I don't think that Ellen Pompeo had any recollection of me doing Grace.
Really? So it
Yeah,
was
that
just
was a
coincidental. Yeah.
complete coincidence. But that was another fun show to shoot.
That story's crazy.
Oh
We
yeah.
all we talked about
Yeah.
doing that instead of was it instead of or after the pit, Becky?
It was going to be after. No, the Pit was, I knew in my soul when I saw the Pit and then saw that Noah Wiley was going to be directing, writing, and acting in it.
Yeah.
I told Mandy, I want to cover the show. And she's like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then
I
I
don't
found out
know.
that Noah had finally taken the restraining order off of Becky, and that we were probably good to go ahead. She wants me to quit joking about that because eventually he's going to hear it, and she wants him to know
Wait,
I need him
she's
to not
only
be afraid to come on this
she's
podcast,
only crazy
Tosh.
in a fun way. Only crazy in a fun way, guys. I promise.
He is. He has been a
So fun.
crush of mine since the 90s. I think he was my first like real TV crush.
Yeah. Was
But
it
I
from
digress.
was it
ER.
from ER? Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah.
That story, though, back to the good, I can't watch it because it upsets me. Like the real story about that poor girl, it just really makes me mad at those parents. I don't believe for 1 minute that that girl was.
You saw the docuseries?
Yeah, I
You saw
watched
both?
it.
There's two seasons, right?
Yeah, I don't think I watched the second season. And I know that, she's cuckoo, but I also think that after everything she's been through, who
Yeah,
wouldn't
right.
be,
Right.
And I don't believe for 1 minute that, like, did you read up on like the real story behind because I think that they took some liberties, changed some things
Mhm.
around, and like those people, I'd be ashamed of
It's
themselves.
insane.
Yeah.
That would be a good one to cover because that would take a while. If especially if you add the docuseries too. Like that shit
Right.
is crazy.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm kind of curious to see what's going to happen with that girl. But anyway, Becky, you
Mandy's
want to?
making me cover Welcome to Dairy that starts at the end of this month. And that's
You're not excited about that?
I
Yeah.
hate clowns. I hate
Oh,
spiders. I hate scary. I grew up loving old school horror movies, Freddy, Jason,
yep.
Halloween, all that
Halloween.
stuff. And then as I got older and realized how bad my anxiety is, I watched the first Saw
Uh-huh.
and
Mm-mm.
shut it down. I was like, this can
Shut it
happen in
down.
real life.
Right,
This
it
can
Yeah.
could.
really happen to somebody. And then I got a little crazy. I don't know if I may edit this out, but I got a little crazy worrying that my mind was susceptible to evil. Like,
I'm laughing with you because
Like being possessed?
well,
yeah.
yeah, like if I watch, it was The Ring, where the
Yeah,
you watch
yeah,
the
yeah.
video and the girl comes out of the TV, and I was like, oh my gosh, what if I'm watching TV and I don't know it, but like so I kind of just stopped with
Hey, Becky,
horror.
remember yesterday when I was talking to you about Pure O and my obsessive, when I was going through depression and I would have those
Yes.
obsessive thoughts? That's what I was trying to explain
Oh,
to
well,
you.
good. So you
That's
do
what
get
that
me.
is. Yes.
So yeah, so I it took me, I mean, that movie, the original Stephen King was from what, the 70s,
In the
Oh
80s.
yeah.
80s. And it
Yeah.
took me, no joke, till I was 40, I think I was 42 or 43 years old before I could watch it. And I had to watch it during the day,
Yeah.
and my husband had to be home.
Yep.
And what got me, have you seen it?
The original. Yeah, I've seen the original.
Okay, so
Oh yeah.
what got me is that I survived 40 hours of this movie with
Yeah.
this crazy clown, but nobody warned me that at the very end, he
There's a
turns
big
into
ass
something that
spider.
scares
Spider
me
thing.
more
Yeah.
Yeah.
than freaking clowns. It's a gigantic spider. So that's all I could think about with this Welcome to Derry, is that CGI is good now.
Oh
That
yeah.
spider was really,
It was
hindsight,
about
it
to
wasn't
Yeah.
that scary.
no.
Oh,
Yeah.
but
It could
enough
be much
about me.
scarier.
Let's talk about you for a minute.
We didn't just bring you here to make you listen to
To
our
tell
feelings.
you, yeah.
I love it.
All right. So the next question we have for you, and you talked a little bit about it earlier, is that you are a dancer. So I'd love to
Yeah.
hear more about dancing. You said you got into it when you were young. Is there a style you prefer? Do you like dancing? Would you prefer a dancing role over an acting role? Have you thought about like Broadway? I don't know if you sing.
Yeah.
Um,
Not very good.
Not very good. Okay, maybe not Broadway, but what do you love about
Yeah.
that? And do you have a preference? Like if you were to be offered two roles at the same time, but one
Yeah.
was dance and one was acting.
Acting all day. I'll take acting every day of the week.
Really?
Awesome.
Yeah, but so my parents had me and my sister both. We were classically trained.
Wow.
Yeah, tap, modern, jazz, ballet. I wasn't a big fan of those, but we did all of them. Hip hop and breaking, or like breakdancing.
Mhm.
And breaking is the one that really, really stuck with me and my sister. We were a part of a crew called the Boogie Brats, which is like a huge breaking crew, and Mighty Zulu Kings, which is like Zulu Nation, stuff like that. We were a part of, and like we flew all over the world when I was like 12 years old, battling adults. Like,
Wow.
yeah, we went to Amsterdam and we battled like a bunch of adults from all different parts of the country.
That's
Um,
amazing.
yeah, so like we were very competitive at a very, very, very young age, like with adults who were trying to like kill us. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Cutthroat.
yeah, but I love dancing and everything like that. I'm not a big fan of the professional dancing. I'm not a big fan of how dancers are treated. I learned at a very young age that I was not a big fan of that. Like, you go into a dance audition and everybody, it's probably changed now, but like when I went into dance auditions, you put on a number, like a sticker with a number on your shirt, and they'd address you by the number, and then they'd be like, numbers 4, 5, 6, get out of here. Like just very disrespectfully, kind of like disregard you if you don't get the role in dancing. And then dancers don't get paid great, and they break their bodies and stuff like that.
Mm.
So yeah, definitely. Like I knew that at a certain age, I was like, no, it's definitely acting for me. And I've always just like acting was the true love in my life for sure.
Oh, cool. So any chance we might see you on Dancing with the Stars one day? Would you do that?
Dancing with the Star. Oh, actually, yeah, Dancing with the Stars I would do
That'd be
for
fun, I
sure.
think.
I would definitely do that.
Especially if you have an advantage in your background. Did you see that woman from Australia in the Olympics this last time?
Oh
Oh
my
yeah.
gosh.
Oh yeah,
Bless.
ray gun.
Yeah,
Oh
bless.
yeah,
I love
bless.
her spirit.
The story is crazy. Did you hear about
It,
the story?
I remember I read it, but I don't remember exactly
I don't
what.
know anything about it. What is
I
it?
remember thinking that she was actually a pretty cool lady.
Yeah, it's an insane story, and like I feel bad for the hate that she received and stuff like that. But the thing that sucks is because of not all, it's not all on her, but because of her and a couple of other things that happened during the Olympics with breaking, it's not coming back again next time,
Oh,
which really sucks. But like, yeah, no, like it was, I don't know exactly, but I think like her husband and her, they did like their own version of a qualifier for the Olympics. Like they came up with their own thing.
hmm.
And they didn't like really invite any of like the great Australian B-boys or B-girls to like
Oh no,
do
I
anything.
didn't know that.
Yeah, there's like some
No.
weird conspiracy thing that happened for her to be at the Olympics, but like she was, not like the best that Australia had to offer, obviously.
Oh, surely. Yeah.
I would hope not.
But
Yeah.
like the insane thing is it made breaking look like we were not ready. You know
Yeah,
what I
that
mean?
sucks.
For that big stage, and now it's not coming back in LA,
Yeah,
which
that's
Oh,
insane.
that is a shame.
sucks. It's horrible.
Yeah, and we're about to get into the question that I've been waiting to ask the whole time, but now I have follow-up questions that pertain to dance too. Uh, so I noticed something right away when I was doing our deep dive on you, and that is you are a massive Kendrick Lamar fan.
Oh yeah.
So am I. So I need to know what's your all-time favorite song of his, and what's your favorite from the last album?
Oh, I love this question. Okay, so my favorite song, that's so tough. I've been listening to Euphoria nonstop 'cause that was my favorite song of the battle with him and
The
Drake.
Battle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but if I say my favorite song of all time, I want to say Mad City.
Oh my God, me too.
Yours too?
Yes.
Yeah, that's gotta be my favorite. That song is insane.
I grew up pretty rough, It reminds me of I had older siblings. I had parents that worked and pretty much for a lot of my childhood. I had this one older sibling that was responsible
Yeah.
for taking me with her everywhere. And she was 7 years older than me, and very quickly got into drugs and alcohol. And she's passed since then, but I went to some real interesting places as a
Yeah.
young child, and that's
Yeah.
what that is what Mad City reminds me of.
It's one of those songs you just like you immediately can picture the stuff that
Hmm.
he's talking about and stuff.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's not exactly the same, but a lot of those same kind of characters and just things that you shouldn't see when you're a young kid, and just
Yeah.
a side of life that a lot of people just. Anyway, that's
Yeah.
crazy. I can't believe you said that one. So, what about the last album? Did you
I
like
love the
it?
last album. I've
Yeah.
I've worn that album out. I listened to it so much.
When you're talking about dance, I wanted to know what you thought about the pop out show. And I didn't know anything. I'm just some, 50-year-old lady from Nashville. I didn't know nothing about Tommy the Clown
Oh,
or any
really?
of that.
Okay, yeah,
No, I've
yeah.
never heard about that at all. So that was one of the things, man, the dancers from that video, oh my Lord, the
Crazy.
girls with the suckers,
Yeah.
I want to know those women. Like that was amazing. Just
You know what?
I have 8 left feet. I don't even just have two. Like I had to drop out of Zumba because I can't
It
do.
was too much.
Yes, and it wasn't the exercise. It was like I am just not that coordinated. So anyway, what do you have thoughts on the whole dance crew?
Yeah, well, I was at the pop-up show. I was lucky enough to be there, so I
Shut
got to
up.
see it in person. Yeah, it was amazing. Also, for Tommy the Clown and all that kind of stuff, you should check out this documentary called Rise. I don't know if you've heard
Okay.
of it, but
Uh-uh.
yeah, Rize. It's all about Tommy the Clown and all those crumpers and stuff like that, in LA and their stories and tie-dyes and all those guys. But yeah, growing up in LA, we kind of grew up with Tommy the Clown and all that kind of stuff. But that pop out show was crazy. I just felt like he brought all of LA together. You saw it on Amazon, right?
Yes. Oh, immediately. Yeah. Like I didn't sleep. I'm a nerd. Like you may have already got
Me
that vibe
too.
from me. Like, but that's what I love about Kendrick is like
Yeah,
he is. First of all, I love the Cali sound. I've always
yeah,
preferred the Cali
yeah.
sound. Tupac is my all-time favorite
Love it.
rapper,
Me
and
too.
so like when Kendrick came out in like 2010,
Yeah,
it was just so cool to have that sound coming back,
yeah.
and he has stayed true. And like even
Mm.
though he's versatile, he's always just his lyricism and
Oh
just the
my
way
God,
his
yeah.
brain works. And
Yeah,
I love to see. I'm a lyrics person. I'm not a musician. I don't have any kind of background in that.
right.
But I love lyrics, and he is the master.
Oh yeah.
He's the best out there. He's best. alive, I think.
I agree. Even if you go back to Overly Dedicated. Oh, and to answer on what's my favorite album, I would probably say To Pimp a Butterfly is my favorite.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I think
think
Good Kid, Mad City is my favorite,
that one's so
but
good too.
yeah. But what about from the last album? Do you have any that stood out to you from DMX?
Reincarnated, because
Yeah.
you
Oh my
mentioned
God, that
Tupac.
was my favorite
Yeah.
too. And I totally didn't think you would say that because it's not necessarily the one that everybody is, talking
Right,
about. But
right.
anyway,
But you mentioned Tupac like he's my favorite rapper too. Right now it's like between him and Kendrick, it's really tough. I've always said Tupac will be like my favorite forever, but Kendrick is like, man, he's right there.
I know, like the nerd in me, no, look, I love you, Pac. I love you. But Kendrick is like what Pac would have been if he was just a little less enamored
Yeah.
of that life. Like if
2.0.
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
And I think Kendrick would want us to say Tupac. But that's what I loved about Tupac, is like that was my generation and
Yeah.
I had a love-hate relationship with him because he was so misogynistic. Like his
Right.
lyrics could be
Right.
incredibly misogynistic, but he was
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah. And
And
it sucks that his life was so short
Yeah.
because we didn't get to see the evolution.
right. And that's
Yeah.
like the heartbreak of it is that like you don't get to see what he would have been because I firmly believe he would have come out of that,
Yep. Yep.
and that he would be on the other side and he'd be so proud of Kendrick. But
Right.
anyway, I was going to say when the beef was going on, I didn't sleep for 3 days.
Oh, me
Oh my
neither.
God, Taj.
Really?
I
Yes.
knew nothing. I knew he did a song with Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
That is as much as I knew about Kendrick Lamar. And that is not a diss on Kendrick Lamar. I musically live in the 90s and the early 2000s.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
that was my time, my jams. I
Yeah.
don't unless somebody sends me a song, there's not a lot that's new that I know about.
Right. Right. Right.
She's like, "Oh my God." She called me one day and she's like, "Oh my God." And she launches full on into this Drake Kendrick beef. And I'm listening, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, "You have no idea what I'm talking about." I'm like, "No." But do you think that stopped her from continuing to call
Every
me
day.
every
no.
day and tell me
Yeah.
about the beef? So I am so this conversation, y'all can't, listeners, you can't see my face, but I'm as blank could be because I don't know what they're until they mention Pac. I don't know what they're talking about. I will give. I did love his Super Bowl halftime performance,
Oh
was
and
my
I
God.
think
amazing.
that was
So
a
good.
statement.
I
Yeah.
had chills the whole time.
But
Yeah.
I'm so glad you two are having this moment
Me
because
too. I feel so
Yeah, me
seen.
too.
But just to wrap up on this, I want to say that part of what I loved about all of that was that, like, I, my whole life thought I would never, ever, ever hear a diss track better than Hit 'Em Up. And Meet the Grams is
Oh
the
my
coldest
God.
thing I've ever heard in my calling out his mama and his
Right.
daddy
Were
and
you
his
were you
Drake's
live?
kids.
mom and dad.
Yes.
Oh dang!
Yeah,
Yeah.
did you get to see it when it came out live, like Family Matters, and then it came out like 30 minutes later?
Yes, yes. I'm telling you, I didn't sleep for days. My kids, my husband, the dogs, everybody was sick
The
of hearing
dogs.
it. Because again, I want to point out, I am a 50-year-old middle-aged lady. It's not like I got 80 friends who listen to Kendrick Lamar that I could just pick up the phone and get them to care about it. It was,
But she'll try.
yeah, I will. I did. So, all right. Well, we'll move on from Kendrick
We could talk about that all day.
for all day. So,
I'm gonna. I hope that you two connect
Yeah,
so
for
that
sure.
in the future, as things drop, she could just text me and be like, "Oh my God, I just had the best conversation with Taj
yes.
about
For sure.
this beef or
And
whatever."
leave
And I'm
Becky out of
like,
it.
"Girl, yes,
Yes.
yes. Call me when you want to talk about Tay Tay."
Tay Tay. Tay Tay and Travis.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good stuff. Well, if you've got a little bit more time, one more question that
Sure.
I have been dying to ask. You have a nickname, Crash.
Yeah.
I want to know the story behind that nickname. Is it as good as I think it's going to be?
It's pretty simple. I'm just like when I was younger, I was kind of clumsy and a madman. And so my dad actually gave me the nickname Crash, but in breaking, crashing is not a good thing. Like crashing is when you fall out of a move or something like that. So
Mm.
it's so I go by crash as well with a K.
Oh yeah, I
Not
noticed
with a C.
that.
Yeah.
See, your
Yeah.
dad gives you a cool nickname like that. Mine is Bruce, and I'm not telling that story. It's
Bruce.
ridiculous. Okay, I'll tell it.
Yeah, I want to
So
hear it.
now I just shout out to my dad if you're listening. He knows
Shout
it.
out.
He's cheesy. He's always has been cheesy. And one night I had two brothers. One of them passed away, but
Oh.
we were sitting at the table and we were eating sloppy joes. And I am 48 years old and still eat. I can't eat clean. I'm gonna be wearing the majority of
Mm.
what it's how I've always been. So I of course had this sloppy Joe all over my face. And he's
Oh
like,
yeah.
it looks like you have a goatee. And he's like, I'm gonna start calling you Bruce. I was like
No.
6. I am 48. And mom calls me Lucy Bruce to make it more feminine. But to this day, they still call me Bruce.
Oh,
Bruce,
Becky,
what?
I'm picturing your first grade picture with you now with a Sloppy Joe mustache. Taj, that girl has the cutest baby picture you've ever seen in your life.
Really?
I'll send it to you on Instagram,
Her
Todd.
Yeah, I
mama
wanna
sent
see
her
it.
to school with Afro puffs, just cute little buns,
Yeah.
and she didn't like them.
No, 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 no. No, get the story right. So I grew up in a very small, predominantly white town.
Okay.
And at the time this picture was taken, we were going to a Christian school and
Mhm.
we were the only biracial children
Oh, I didn't know that.
there.
Oh wow, yeah.
So I go to school with my hair done in this cute little Afro puffs.
Uh-huh.
And when, I don't know, Black kids back in my day, we had constant headaches because of how tight
Yeah.
our hair would be
From the pulling.
combed and pulled. And
Yep.
so I just took them out. Well, the
Okay.
teacher, when it came time for the photo, they didn't have a clue what to do with my hair. So they
Yeah.
just kind of like it's very Don King-esque. You know
Really?
who Don King is.
Oh yeah.
Adorable little
My
precious-
smile, I remember I have
The
a
cutest
vivid
thing.
memory of bringing this photo home to my mom because back then you would take like the actual photo and then your
Yeah.
parents would order however many different wallets and
Yep.
sizes.
Different sizes, yeah.
And I showed her this picture and she was so mad. She's like, I did not send you to school looking like that. What did you do? And I'm looking at her like, I mean, when you see the photo,
You'll know.
you'll
Oh, I can
know.
wait to see it.
Because
You'll
the
know.
smile on my face, I was the cutest thing ever.
Oh,
That's
So-
adorable.
Yeah, it's a fun story.
that's great.
So yeah,
That and
anyway,
Bruce.
sorry. Crash.
Yeah, Crash.
I like it.
Crash, Taj, T. Yeah.
Is Taj your like birth name or
Taj is my birth name, yeah. Taj
Okay.
Nico Speights is my full name.
What's your
what's
real
the
name?
Nico.
Nico.
Love it.
Yeah.
Are you named after anyone?
Well, my dad's name is Nicolo. So
Oh,
yeah, I named after my dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
that's cool. I love those
Yeah.
names.
And I'm also, you mentioned biracial. I'm so mixed. I'm Black, Puerto Rican, Cuban, and Japanese.
You're
Wow.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
You are. I figured you were.
Yeah, I'm
You
very
had
mixed.
some mix. Mandy was talking about her genealogy. I won't go into this, but she basically, I did the DNA test and
Yeah.
sent her the results. And like 2 weeks later, she found my I was adopted. She found my birth mother. I've got
What?
siblings, sisters. Yeah, half of that didn't work out very well, but the other half
Mm.
did. But yeah, I was like shocked at how Italian I
Wow.
am.
Well, that's what I was going to ask if he was part Italian too, because that would be quite interesting. You
If I did the thing, that's probably I'm sure there's probably some Italian in there. My sister did it, and I think that she's like, yeah, she traced is Nigerian, Jewish, Spaniard. There's so much stuff, but then I'm also like, do I really want to know all that other stuff? Like I I've had in my head what I am. It's like, am I gonna start saying 1,000 different nationalities? That'll be kind of crazy.
I think it'd be fun. I mean,
Do you say all of them?
no.
No,
No.
yeah, it's too
No,
long.
if people ask me, what's your ethnic? Because growing up, I got a lot. People like it was so funny. when I first started dating my husband, and
Yeah.
they had this Thanksgiving lunch at work, and he asked me to come and meet his coworkers. And he got later that night, he was like, man, they were like, is she Brazilian? Or it's the eyes. I've got these,
Mm-hmm.
and I was
Yeah.
a lot
Yeah.
hotter back then. Things have age has got me a little bit, but
No.
um, so I was very curious to know what all was there, but it's pretty basic, except for I've got like a smidge of Armenian, which
Oh
is where
yeah.
I think the eyes come from.
Wow. And you got
Yeah,
to so you've got to meet people through doing your DNA test?
I did. I have a half sister from my biological father's side who
Uh-huh.
we talk and keep in touch.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with my birth mother, and it
Yeah.
didn't go well. I
Yeah.
still haven't, she's got two kids. I'm not allowed to talk to them. I'm not really supposed to be talking to any of that side of the family, but there's some that are like, whatever, we're grown
Yeah.
people, and they keep in touch. But yeah, it was crazy. It was a
Wow.
crazy,
Yeah. In 2025, that's insane.
yeah, which
Yeah.
is mm.
I'm I'm
Anyway,
I'm glad I live where I live, right? And like right in during these times because
we're
I mean,
jealous.
oof. Yeah, do you guys deal with a lot up there? I'm
Uh,
sure.
yeah,
we're in
yeah.
Tennessee. So we
Yeah.
are a
Yeah.
red state
Yeah.
We're in the
governed by
Taliban.
red idiots. And it is a diverse city. There's
Oh,
A lot of diversity in
a lot
Nashville.
of diversity,
different cultures. Yeah.
but the roots are still what they were. And it's
And we have a
hard.
Republican supermajority, so it's literally the Taliban here. Whatever they say
Yeah.
goes. As a matter of fact, I read today that in Putnam County, an ex sheriff's deputy posted on social media. Literally, all he posted was it was right after Charlie Kirk got killed, and
Yeah.
all he posted was an literal meme of Donald Trump saying, "We need to get over it." And they arrested him yesterday.
What?
Yep, arrested him for saying that he was making terroristic threats.
It's crazy.
I don't like that's the whole other thing I don't understand is I don't understand like, obviously I don't condone murder, but Charlie Kirk, anytime that I'd ever seen him, I'd only seen him saying like horrible racist, homophobic,
Yeah,
sexist, just like horrible stuff.
Yeah.
And now like people trying to compare him to Martin Luther King, and I just don't
Making him a
understand.
martyr.
Yeah, make him a
he
martyr.
he absolutely disliked and talked shit
Yeah,
about
about
Martin
Martin
Luther
Luther King.
King.
And
Yeah,
then
Yeah,
you try to say that. It's like, look, I'm not condoning the death of anyone, but don't
right.
ask me to mourn
Hell
the
no.
loss of someone who doesn't think I have a brain,
Right.
who doesn't think as a woman I should be sitting at home subservient to my
Uh-huh.
husband,
Yep, yep.
is poisoning the minds of
The
our
youth.
today's
mm-hmm,
youth.
Yep.
mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
For the life of me, he's one of the ones I just can't understand how you could possibly follow him.
No,
I don't
makes
Like,
no
either.
sense. I tell my kids, I was telling Becky just this earlier, every week or so, I tell my kids, there were so many things I worried about being a mom. I'm really sorry I brought you into the dumbest timeline. I had no
literally,
idea that we were about to just completely try to go back to the damn, Salem witch trials.
Yeah.
It's definitely troubling times. It's very upsetting times. And I'll wrap this up so we can get back through. But I will tell you, I don't know if you enjoy reading People's History of the United States by what is it, Andrew Zimmer, I think his last name is.
okay.
Phenomenal. I cannot recommend it highly enough. I'm going to start buying copies and putting them in the little free libraries around here
Yeah, yeah,
because it tells history from the point of view instead of like the victories of the United States
yeah.
from the perspective of like what that cost the
Mm,
people that weren't on the quote unquote winning sides. And it's like a bunch of different, it's not just about one group or another. It's about all of the groups that got left behind
wow.
in the Great American Experiment and what it cost them for us to have economic success, for capitalism to work, all of that. It's a very, very good book, and I think everybody should read it.
People's History of the United States. I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah.
A lot about the Pitt stuff that, abortion rights and
Yeah,
things like
political.
that storylines that were told, we loved it because, it gave us a chance to share our thoughts.
Yeah. That's one thing I'll say, because that was another thing that I was so proud of being on the pit for, is because it's a show that's on the right side of history. In a
Hmm.
Yes.
time where, like, I feel like people do want to be so numb to like what's really going on. It forces you to think and to sit with what's going on. Like, it's happening.
Yeah.
These things, like, they're actively trying to take rights away from women for their own bodies and stuff like that. So I'm so proud to be a part of a show that actively is on the right side of history.
There's a reason it won all those Emmys,
Yeah.
I saw this article on People magazine the other day that was about what's her name, the actress that was in Eastern Promises. She's Australian, the one that's not Nicole Kidman.
Oh,
Uh,
Charlize Theron? No,
No, she was married to the guy that was in Ray Donovan. Anyway, they
Yeah,
have
we'll
a
be here all
daughter.
night.
Right. Anyway, they have a daughter who's a model and she's trans and she's
yeah,
beautiful,
Aw.
absolutely
yeah.
just stunningly gorgeous. And every comment on that was women saying, "You mean him?"
What the frick do you care?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, what does it matter
Why?
to
What?
you?
How does it affect you? How these people, anyone, chooses to live their lives?
Right.
Right.
We all need to mind our own business a little more.
Yes. I think it says more about the person speaking than the person they're speaking about.
For sure.
Right, right.
For sure. But anyway, all right.
All right. So back to the
This is a good part. I'm excited to get to this.
this first comment. I just love it so much. So, along with questions that our listeners sent in, we also got some kind words from them on your character, and we want to share those with you. So, Caitlin Kazuko, who's also a new follower, when we
Kokuzo.
posted that we were interviewing you, she said, "Awesome. First thing I want to say, thank you for creating this character and acting it so incredibly well, especially the post MCI scenes. You did a great job navigating the realistic, misplaced anger in the context of grief directed at Robbie. I'm a pediatrician. I spend a lot of time walking with families through similar situations where a teenager is having some really challenging behaviors and even outright anger towards their parents in times of grief or anxiety. It is a challenging and common situation. Both you and Noah gave me some wonderful tools in my toolbox to address these things and a deeper understanding of the emotional dynamic. You, and this is in all capital letters, you have made a difference in the lives of my kiddos, their parents, and their doctors by demonstrating this so well. I know this is more of a praise than a question, but you deserve to hear this for a job incredibly well done."
Oh, thank you. That's really sweet and touching.
Yeah.
That means a lot to me.
I hope that really, like, when I hear more about your process and the backstory that you gave your character and like where you were willing to go for that. I mean, that was you. I mean, as much as that was Noah, that was you creating
Yeah.
that and giving him a humanity and a depth. Another actor, that character could have just come off as petulant or spoiled, but you really gave him like a sweetness. You nailed it when you
Thank
talked
you.
about like the sweetness of his heart and his goodness and his just kind of innocence
Yeah.
and the grief of like losing that on top of already struggling with being a good kid and loving, Robbie, but potentially having like these feelings of abandonment and all that. I think you did a great job.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Caitlin.
Yeah, that made my week.
Yeah, that's
Linda Morrison, who is, "Hey, Linda, I haven't seen your name in a long time. I miss
I
you,
know
guys."
we miss her.
There's so much, she says, there's so much love between Dr. Robbie and Jake. I hope to see Jake return next season for him and Dr. Robbie to repair their relationship. I would love to see that. Well, Linda, us too.
yeah,
For
me too.
sure. We're gonna
Noah,
start
Love
writing
make
that.
the
letters.
call.
Yeah, right.
Messing around.
And then
Yes.
come on our
Already.
podcast.
Yes.
So, lastly, we like to ask our guests, where can our listeners find you? And are there any causes, pages, projects, or anything that you've got in the works that you would like to tell us about?
So you can find me on Instagram at Taj Speights, TajSpeights. And as far as causes and everything like that, no, I don't have anything really going on right now. I've just been working really hard with the acting and trying to promote love and peace as much as possible in this crazy world. And that's pretty much it right now. I'm got my nose to the grindstone and I'm right back out there trying to get the next job.
I read somewhere that you had a podcast. Do you still have a podcast? I'm old. I
No.
don't understand SoundCloud. So
Yeah, no, I don't. That lasted for like 2 weeks. It was me and my friend. We were messing around, but
was it a good time?
it was a lot of fun.
It's
We
work though, isn't
have
it?
drinks and talk trash, but yeah, it's so much work.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
stay consistent, I give you guys so much props.
Yeah. Well, give Becky most of that props because
Editing
she's
is the devil.
yeah.
Yeah, oh my, yeah, the editing is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything
It's-
else is fun. I love everything else.
What do you use, Final Cut or Premiere or
Audacity,
Audacity? Okay.
whatever's free.
Yeah.
Is it complicated?
Yeah.
Is it complicated to use?
No, it's really not complicated. Part of it is I am a bit OCD about it.
Yeah.
So some people who they just kind of skim through it and
Uh-huh.
look for things, but I will listen to the entire thing from start to finish.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know. I can't I
Well, it
don't know.
matters a lot too. That's one thing about Becky that's awesome is it's very much a labor of love and she's
Yeah.
very protective of what we do, like, the product that we put out, what we put
Yeah.
out. I don't even like to say it because I don't think you or I, either one of us, think of it as a product, but just what we put out into the world. She's very intentional,
Yeah. I
but
love
it's
that.
a lot of work.
It's great to see two humans doing the job and not AI.
Yeah. Mandy and I have known each other for 20 years, but some of the best times we've had have been sitting here on Zoom, just podcasting about episodes or getting to talk with you guys.
Yeah.
It just, who knew that when got to guest on a podcast to talk about I got to do a focus group for Interview with a Vampire.
Yeah.
And I loved it so much. And the guy who kind of gave us this platform,
Mhm.
I was like, I think I want to do my own. And he gave me the training on editing and all that stuff. And he's like, go
Wow.
for it. And
It's been like a year, right, Becky? Are we at a 1 year anniversary-ish?
we are, as a matter of fact.
It was last October, I think.
Yeah. So we just
Wow, congratulations, both
thank
of you.
you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's
How many
incredible.
podcasts do you think you've done? Because I took a break. I have my own podcast that I do about women's history, but Becky's been covering Dexter since we stopped doing the last show that we did together. So how many episodes do you think you've done this year?
Well, so we know 15. Well, we did 16 for the Pitt because we did the wrap up episode,
And 10 for what we did in the shadows.
and then 8 for the Better Sister, and then Dexter was 10.
Well, so-
And that does not count the interviews we've done.
yeah.
Somebody do the
Dang.
math because I'm not going to. I hate
And
numbers.
this doesn't pay. We got jobs.
This is
Right.
full-time job.
Right. Wow.
Labor of
Yeah.
love, man. But moments like this, like who would
Yeah,
have
yeah.
thought that, this would where it would take us. So it's worth
Yeah.
it. It's all
For
worth it.
sure.
I hope you guys' numbers keep on shooting up so you guys can just do this.
Well, that'd be great.
That'd be incredible.
We would love to get to a point where we could support ourselves, but we don't want to do it and lose who we are. So we're
Right.
very
Yeah.
Yeah, we really appreciate your time because we've had a couple of like we've had, but to Becky's point, like it really has changed our lives in a lot of ways. It's not that we don't still get up and have to go to work every day and all of that, but just like in dealing with all of this shit that is
Right.
going on in the world,
Yep.
as stressful as podcasting can be, it's given us so many amazing opportunities to really make connections with people that through the course of our normal lives we would have never gotten a chance to
Yeah.
talk to and pick their brains and get like we just appreciate the time that you take to do it. And we've had a couple people who said, an hour just sounds like it's too much. And
Mm.
we've reluctant, and it's been people we wanted to talk to, but we've had to be
Yeah.
like, we can't do that because
Yeah.
It's not that we need, you to spill all of your deepest, darkest secrets, but I
Right.
hope that this is more fun for you than it would have been if we just had 5 questions that we wanted to
For
ask and
sure.
then
Cram
get out.
in and then bye. That's what we love about us is we are, like I said, we're not professionals. We're not trained interviewers. We just like to talk.
Yeah, I love that.
We want to hang on to that format because it really,
Yeah.
our listeners love it. We love it. So
Yep.
thank you.
Thank you both.
We'll post a link to your social media in our show notes so listeners who don't already know can find you. And again, we just said it, but thanks again. This means so much to us and to our listeners. We know how busy you all are, and please know you're welcome back with us anytime. If I don't know what it's going to look like for you for season 2, but when season 2 comes out, if you want to come and cover an episode with us, we
Yeah.
love to have you.
That'd be really
So anytime, you are a wonderful, beautiful, inside and out human being, and this
And
has
I'll be
been.
sending you my daughter's information.
okay, for sure.
She's beautiful, she's smart, and she's pretty awesome. Mandy did a great job. So
I bet.
Yeah.
Awesome. I appreciate both of you guys. Thank you guys both for having me. And I was about to say too, I really like the fact that you guys are just yourselves and that you guys are not all stuffy. It makes the interview a lot easier. So I appreciate it.
Good.
oh, good. Well, remember to pass that on to
My peoples.
your fellow peoples.
I
Yeah.
will.
And anybody. And you know what? And again, I want to reiterate what Becky said before I move on, but that anytime, if you're just like bored next season or,
Yeah.
you've got free time on your hands, or if you just like see an episode and you're like, oh my God, that reminds me, I want to talk about something, just tell us.
Okay,
We
for
will have
sure.
you on absolutely anytime.
Yeah, if you got something that lands and you're like, oh, I want to talk about this.
Yeah, yeah.
We don't have to have 14-hour conversations like we're doing tonight.
Just
Don't
hit us
feel like
up.
but
We're part of your fan group now.
yeah,
Oh, I appreciate it.
we've loved, like Alex, Ambar, Jeanette, those guys were
Yeah.
still Justin, Brainworm guy. I love Justin.
Oh, Justin's
He's gonna
great.
come back and do an episode with us for season 2.
Oh, awesome.
We consider you guys our family now, so you will get memes and random. I did send you on Instagram the photo.
Okay.
Of Becky.
of Becky, of baby
Oh, yeah.
Don King.
Okay,
Yeah.
baby Don King.
You will love it. No one could look at that face and not love it. Okay, so that's going to wrap up our interview with the absolutely amazing Taj. Next up, we are going to be covering HBO Max's Welcome to Derry.
I'm scared, y'all.
I am so
Scared.
stoked. It looks great. I can't wait.
It does look great when I can
Yeah,
look at the screen. We want to thank everyone so much for listening. I'm Becky.
And I'm Mandy.
And I'm Taj.
We'll catch you next week when we grab the remote and see what's on tonight. Bye.
Bye.